I believe we are live.
We are live.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the She Network Facebook page. Today is the first episode of Celebrating She Is Strong. So I'm really excited. I have here for this Celebrating She Is Strong my first guest, Yana, who is my positive psychology lecturer and then turned girlfriend. So I, of course, naturally want to celebrate her first because she did a really good job introducing me to positive psychology. So before we get started, just want to share what is She is Strong about. Earlier on, 1 month ago, we were encouraging the She community to learn about their strengths, to use their strength to support themselves, their families in this period of pandemic by going to take a free scientific strengths assessment called the Strengths Profile. So I know that many of you have done that. So well done for amplifying your own strengths. So I thought, what was the best next step to support all of you? I've been hearing a lot of feedback that a lot of our ladies is like now have to be simultaneously being a mother and being a lover, being everything and all at the same time because of the work from home situation. So I think that women we often don't celebrate ourselves. So I have taken it upon me to do that. So let's celebrate each other using the strengths profile as a reference point. So today our first guest is Yana. Let's welcome Yana.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Hi.
So Yana, tell us a fun fact about yourself, something that most of us doesn't know.
Okay. Since I was told this about 10 seconds ago, and it was like fun facts about myself, it was going through my head. So, you know what? The first thing that popped into my head is I think some people know that I'm a scuba diver, and I absolutely adore scuba diving. However, what most people don't know is that while I scuba dive, I sometimes hide behind boulders and do like a mermaid dance and pretend that I'm a mermaid. And hope no one is looking at me going, who is that crazy person underwater? So I think that's one of the fun facts I want to share about myself. I just love the being underwater and having that freedom of movement. And who doesn't want to be a mermaid? Seriously, right? If I wasn't a
Oh
positive
my
psychologist,
God.
I'd be a mermaid.
Okay, so now we know. So we have Yana the mermaid. Okay, so Yana, are you ready to celebrate your strengths with all of us?
Absolutely. Yes. I think
Can I?
strengths are probably one of the most important things for me in life.
And by the way, Yana is also a strengths profile coach. So how's that? It's like double superpowered over here.
Don't tell anybody, I'm not prepared.
No, this is not live. Don't worry, we're not telling anyone. Okay, so one of the reasons why I wanted to, when I thought of who should be the first guest for celebrating She Is Strong, it was we have someone, our very special Jay, saying that her one of her childhood dream was to be a mermaid too. Yana, you need to high five her. We have lots of mermaids floating around here on the first episode. Okay, so as I was saying, when I thought about who should be the first guest for celebrating She Is Strong, it was quite immediate to me. It was like Yana came in first because she's always supporting everyone in a positive psychology community. She's always so loving. Even sometimes when I'm upset, I will text her and she will make time for me. She's always there, not just for her family and for all of us in the community. But don't trust what I say because I'm going to demonstrate that in action because I have a special superpower, also a magician, but only for today.
Cute.
So, so I'm going to present to you a surprise, Yana.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Okay, are you ready for your surprise?
I'm ready.
You look clueless. What
I,
is the
I,
girl
I'm,
thing?
I'm like not a great fan of surprises, but bring it on, bring it on.
Okay,
It's a strange times.
take a deep breath and then count to three together with me. Okay,
Okay.
one, one, two,
Two,
Three.
three. No way!
No, way.
This is like one of those great shows where families reunite, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Fantastic.
Let me just. Okay. Stefan, can you? I'm trying to unmute my.
Hello. I'm so happy to be
Yay!
here.
Oh my
Surprise!
God, fantastic. It's so great to see you, Stefan.
Oh
Okay.
my
So
God.
this
Okay, I
feels a
did
little
not
bit.
expect this surprise. This is the surprise I did not expect. Okay.
Okay, just so in
Important.
case our audience is clueless, what's going on? Everyone's excited. The audience like, what's going on? So this feels like a homecoming to me because I have Yana, who's my lecturer for positive psychology. I have Stefan, who's the director of the School of Positive Psychology, and my hypnotherapy lecturer. So I feel like I'm in TSPP online version.
It's a reunion for all of us.
That's right. Yeah. It's great. I know.
Okay, so you have been a lot of work for me. Yeah, not the whole 1 week trying to coordinate stuff. But anyway, because I really want to celebrate you, she is strong. So instead of us sharing each other's strength, I thought what could be more perfect than Stefan, who you work closely with, to share about your strengths. How's that?
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yes, I'm so excited that I'll be doing this because that when Joy asked me in the first place, said, hey, can you come online and then share strengths about you? And I said, yes, I'd love to, right? And there are so many strengths that I can name immediately. But of course, this is not just a surprise, but I guess that I really, for the deep down of my heart, I'm very grateful to be here to share this experience with you. Yeah, definitely.
Are you guys going to make me cry? Is this like an inside
Yes,
joke or
that's the
something?
whole objective to make you cry. Yeah. And by the way, this VIP is very hard to catch his schedule. Okay. One of the reasons we keep
I know.
shuffling is so that we can capture him to come on live. So yay, we did it.
I'm,
Yes.
I'm speechless. I'm just like, just really, my heart is so full right now.
Okay, good. Then
And
we have met our objective. So Stefan, over
Mhm.
to you. That's superpower, Yana.
So, I mean, this activity is not just limited for this event. I just want to share with everyone who's watching this is that for those who have known Yana, you will definitely agree with me. But because we are using strengths to appraise her, so I shall start with this activity in mind. And I think Yana, your strengths list of strengths is not exhaustive because there are so many that I have highlighted from all the time since the time that I've known you as a colleague and also as a friend. I would like to share some indicative experiences that I think that you have really deeply impressed me, lack of a better word. I think I still recall the time where there was one particular time whereby we had a meeting, and then after the meeting that you were rushing off, and I asked you where were you headed to, and you said that you need to rush off to rescue somebody. And then I asked you, who is this person that you're rescuing? Then you replied me that you don't even know this person, but you received a tip off from America or Philippines, I think some of the countries, and you need to go and rescue someone. And then I was really perplexed and puzzled at the same time. And I think next 1 week later or 2 weeks later, I asked you, so who did you rescue? And you came back and said that there was a domestic helper being stuck at home with with no money, being trapped in the new employer's house at the same time that you were, and and no one can reach her. So your helper reached out to you for help. And the next thing I knew that you went over to the place, which is a strange neighborhood and a strange environment. You went to the place and tried to render help and offer help to the person. So end up you gave her money, you bought her food, and you rescued her. And that was phenomenal for me. It's because that strength was compassion, and it also involves bravery and adventure. I couldn't picture myself that appearing at someone's place, not knowing who is this person, and then going there and help. And then I still remember that you said you were hiding behind the bushes in the
I totally forgot about this story.
Yeah, I mean that was something that was so impressive, and it really knocked me off my feet. That wow, I mean this is strength of character and helping other people. So that was really impressive, and that was just one of them. If I could continue to cite, other strengths by sharing more experiences with Yana, you would be, I think I remember I called you the other time, and you said that you were out in the jungle around your place, and I say, what were you up to? And then you said, oh, you heard some kittens meowing, and you were on the prowl to rescue kittens. It's like, what? And then, so it strikes me that, okay, this is the second or third time when I call you. I mean, of course, I call you many times, but every time when I ask you something personal, what are you doing? What are you up to? You are always up to rescuing something, right? Helping someone else, some animals, and always on the lookout for, okay, who needs help? And you will be there. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I never realized that about myself. Thank you for pointing it out.
And not just that, okay? So you have strengths of mission, you want to share good, positive news, you have strengths of personal responsibility, you feel that you need to do a bigger part to help the world. You have strengths of service, that you're constantly thinking about other people and other animals. And when I have the privilege to visit your home, you have so many rescue animals. Right? Yeah. And I know that it's you and your family, but it speaks volume of how you are co-creating a safe and trusting environment for not just you and people around you, and also the world. So I really like to thank you for that.
Thank you, Stefan. That was absolutely lovely. And you pointed out things that I didn't even see about myself, and I forgot about those stories. So thank you so much.
And I'm not done yet.
Oh.
I'm not done yet. This is just the beginning.
This is only the beginning flap of the toilet roll, you know?
Yes, that's the beginning. Yeah. I think another big part of what, in terms of impression, in terms of the strengths, how you really use it, is that you also utilize a lot of strength related to compassion, and you mix it with compassion and mission, and which I really love it. Because at the School of Positive Psychology, we've been running for the last 14 to 15 years, and we have a certain system of doing things. So when you join us, you really give us an additional flavor of what the mission should be like. And I really like to say that you really enhance our mission and our core beliefs. And on that note, you are walking the talk, not just talking the talk. And this is something that I'm very impressed about. Having said that, I remember just now I spoke about rescuing kittens, right? So I can imagine you out in the jungle looking for animals to rescue. And then in one of our work meetings, you were sharing about running. And it took me a while to understand, what do you mean by you're running? I mean, I know that you're running, but you're running not for the sake of just exercising. You're running to raise funds on a very frequent basis. You know, some people, they run to raise funds once or twice, but you do it very often. And I have to really applaud you for that. You know, you can mix these two things together, and you are always thinking of ways how to reach out and help the needy. So you're very pro-social, and we have the strength of love also. Okay.
I'm speechless. Thank you, Stefan.
And one more specific, and I will call this a phenomenon. You know, by now it's becoming a repeating phenomenon. Was something about, I think, more than half a year ago, or more than 8 or 9 months ago. I think we had just had a meeting, and I think there was a story of also another domestic helper who has lost her employment, and she lost someone to suicide, I think, and I don't think that you're really close to that person. I'm not very sure the context, but the next thing I knew is that you housed her, you gave her a home, you gave her a place to stay, and you provided her a shelter for her to transit. And I think that was beautiful in many different levels. I think it's a combination of not just a strength, but in terms of a soul, and that's really inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, that story I do remember, and it was one of those such a sad stories. And I knew this helper from before because she worked for one of my family members, my sister-in-law. And I have learned so much from that person about resilience and the ability to overcome and move on I almost feel it was definitely a win-win for both of us. And thank you for bringing that up, because every single day I looked at that person and just learned so much from her. So thank you. Yeah, that was a very emotional story for me. So thank you, Stefan.
No, I thank you for leading by this example, because I mean, there are a lot of talk about helping, but there is always about boundaries. But to me, I think that your boundaries, you stretch your boundaries to help other people, and you give so much of yourself. I think that is really admirable, and it takes a lot of courage, I would say. Yeah, and you may say thank you, but I think for those who are listening or watching this program, I think that this is a time whereby you need to be very aware that you are such a great and beautiful person, that you are really helping a lot of people, and you need to take credit for that. Yana.
Okay, I will. Okay, thank you. Thank you for highlighting that for me, and I appreciate that. And it just kind of happens, things happen, and I love people, and I don't know, but thank you I am accepting that. I do help people, and I also get other people to help me, and I appreciate that, because I do believe that together we're stronger.
Yes, we all are, and so I'm very happy and grateful that I've known you as a friend and as a colleague, and we get to work together. And so your energy is really uplifting, and please keep out the good work, and keep out your energy and zest. And also, it's fun to be with you, Yana, because you're full of life. So we really like that. So thank you.
Thank you, Stefan, for giving me opportunities to use my strengths. Because you know what, unless somebody believes in you, and unless somebody gives you an opportunity to go and use your strengths, use them to make a positive change in the world. And there's not many leaders who will allow that and have trust in people. And that's your strength. You have those strengths, and you help me shine by allowing me to be myself and using those authentic strengths that just give me so much energy, that I just feel like every morning when I wake up, I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing in life. So thank you for that. And that is where you understand each other's strengths, right?
Thank you, Yana, for saying that. I am very, very grateful for what you just said. So I'm very thankful too. Yay! Let's celebrate our strengths together. And thank you, Joy, for inviting me to celebrate Yana's strengths. Yeah.
This was the best surprise I've ever had. It was fantastic. Thank you so much. I just felt like my whole resilience reservoir has filled in this time of 18 minutes. I feel like my energy has exploded, and I just want to go out there and do more amazing stuff with the School of Positive Psychology. So thank you.
So for our audience who's listening in, who's new to strengths, can you see the power of when you use your strength, when you unleash your strength, you allow your best self to show up. And when you do that, it's infectious. And when you're able to spot other people's strength, share it with them, give them specific evidence where that shows up in life, they are empowered by it. As you can hear from Yana, she now feels like, because of this 18 minutes, I'm going to charge out and do even more in the world with the amazing reminder of her powers. And she has not seen some of Stefan's perspective. She did not realize it until this conversation.
No.
That is the power of having the lens of strengths and using the language of strengths in your daily life. So it has to start with you. So let's embrace this strengths-based living.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it. Awesome.
So Yana, we are actually not done with you yet. Deep breath.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so but before I do something else, I just want to check. Stefan, do you have anything else you want to share about Yana? Are you good with where
No, I think
you left off?
No, I think on the parting note, Yana, I just let you know that everybody at TSPP and even the community, everyone in positive psychology and your friends, I think they love you. I think if we could just summarize, it's difficult to summarize all your strengths because there's so many of them. But what really sticks out to me is that you're so caring and so thoughtful for other people. And if I can use a analogy, I mean, maybe it's not a good analogy, that you always cheer other people on with pom-pom, so people feel appreciated. And that is empowering as a coach and a psychologist. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for making me feel incredibly appreciated right now.
Agreed.
Yay!
I totally agree with that. Yeah. Okay, so now we're ready to move on to a second surprise for you.
Okay.
Very deep breath. Okay, so shall we take another deep breath and count to 3 again? Ready? 1,
1,
2,
2, 3.
3.
Oh my God.
Good evening, my beautiful friend.
Deborah, please welcome yourself and please introduce yourself.
I've been listening backstage. This is my first ever Facebook Live. I've been listening backstage and I've just been going like, oh, and like, oh, and like, oh, and like, yay. But you couldn't see or hear me. And I was just like, I feel lifted by what I've been witness to. And so get your tissues ready, babe. Because I'm heaping more on your head. Thank you, Joy, for inviting me on. And hello, everyone who's managed to join this session today. So this is like a friend and family fest. I've known Jana. Well, I'm Deborah Thurley, and I'm also positive psychology, and I've known this beautiful, glowing, sparkling light for 20 years. I was working out. Jana is one of my dearest friends. We've raised our kids together. And now I have the privilege of working with you in this positive psychology space. And it is, well, it's a blessing, to work with one of my dearest friends on the planet. And like Stefan just kind of stole so many strengths, but I have another one. In fact, I have another 3. But Joy was quite strict and she said I was only supposed to talk about 1. So I might stretch it a little bit. But you do have so many strengths. And Stefan, you just nail so many of those so beautifully. But I want to talk to you about one of your unrealized strengths, which is your, as you say, unrealized strengths of legacy. And I was amazed that was up there, but yet I was not really surprised because from all of your strengths, right, that you think you have, you don't think you have, that other people see in abundance. If you look at your strength of legacy, which springs from your strengths of connecting, being a connector, and being a rapport builder, boom, there's your legacy. And let me tell you why. Okay, so for anyone out there who knows Jana, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't yet met Jana, you will soon have an idea as to who this person is in terms of what she brings with her in every footstep and with every word and with every breath. I have never met anyone so comfortable in your own skin. So no one that I know is as comfortable as you in your own skin. Open, authentic, just willing to share and willing to help. Through our years of friendships, I've seen you deep in conversations with strangers on scuba diving trips on jetties, while waiting for boats, with your peers, your students, corporate clients, friends and family, it's a given, young people, old people. It's just you striking up a meaningful conversation is like breathing. It's just organic and it's beautiful to witness. Somehow you find common ground with everyone. It's a shared humanity. And what Joy was mentioning as making time for people, you just have this amazing capacity to create and hold space for whoever is in your space without reservation. You just reach out and you connect with your heart, your whole heart, actually. And it doesn't stop there. Like, you are one of the busiest people, the most productive people I know and have ever met in my entire life. I'm so glad I don't have to run next to you because I'd be flat on my face. But somehow you do hold this space where people feel, I feel, and your colleagues and friends, we feel heard, we feel deeply listened to, we feel cherished, we feel loved, but we also feel, and this is the amazing part, actively and dynamically encouraged and supported. You don't just listen, you reach out and you help. You extend that to us, to all of us, really. And for me, it's a gift because, you help us believe, or you help me believe that I am already enough, that I am already that I'm struggling with. And someone told me the other day about believe mirrors. So a believe mirror is someone who simply believes that you are enough already and that all that potential is there already. And so you're my believe mirror. And I suspect you're a believe mirror for many, many people. Hopefully a lot of them listening in tonight. Every time I've ever faced a challenge, whether it's been a work challenge or something that I've been tussling within my mind just to get my head around, you're my go-to person. You're my believe mirror. You're someone that I can turn to and often turn to when I'm stuck, when I'm having a sense of not being good enough, when I'm struggling with my ability to solve a problem, to create content, to run a course, or whatever it is. And what I love is that you have no idea that you're a believe mirror, and you have no idea, because of your humbleness, your humility, and just your caring nature, that you have this profound impact on people. And I can put my hand on my heart and say that I have lovely friends, lots of beautiful friends, but of my friends, you are the most profound shaper of my life professionally and of bringing me into my strengths and into my light. And that is called legacy, my dear friend. That is called legacy. And so I suspect most people listening in who know you and love you will totally agree. There are probably lots of heads nodding right now. You believe in people, you see the best in people, you bring their strengths to light, you polish them up, you give them a nudge when you need it. Sometimes they're really strong nudges, and it's exactly what we need when we get that from you. And I don't think there's one person who knows you, Jana, who would not say that you have had that positive impact on their life. And that is the legacy of one human being impacting more human beings. And that's the biggest legacy of all. So thank you. Thank you.
I've never known that, Deborah. Thank you. I'm just so deeply touched right now by what you said. And I've known you for 20 years and we have been through so much together. And I'm so glad that I could be there for you. And obviously it's a two-way street, of course, always, right? It takes two to tango. So thank you.
No, I need a tissue now.
So this show doesn't sponsor tissue for the time being. Maybe I should speak to some tissue companies.
Thank God there's toilet paper back in the shop.
Toilet paper is in demand right now. You're asking for a lot.
No, I'm so feeling so loved and so valued and appreciated right now. And first of all, Joy, thank you for orchestrating this, and to have Stefan, who I admire deeply and love, and Deborah, who really, I mean, I can't even tell you how much we have been through together and soldiered on and learned. And one thing about Deborah is, like, she is the most organized human being that I know. So she has always inspired me and found things. We did meditation together. We taught kids together. We raised kids together. We ran workshops for kids, workshops for adults, you know, and we were there to support each other in our growth. And you know what, babe? We're out there making positive change, all of us. And I'm so happy that we got where we wanted to be, which was connecting and growing positive change and making communities thrive, right? Which is really the reason I exist. So thank you so much for being there and helping me through this whole journey. And Stefan for giving us the platform to do all that on. So thank you. Yeah.
Well, you know, you're
When you
deeply loved.
By the
Deeply
way, when
loved.
you work from strengths, for any of you who haven't figured it out so far, it is really emotional, but it's awesome. Okay.
And it's always a two-way street. It's always that two-way street, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just that positive spiral and strengths uplift is amazing. Really, I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight. Now I'm going to be like, oh.
yeah. And you know what? That's what it's about. Like when we work with strength, we give each other energy. Like when Deborah and I, when we've been creating programs together, it's like working together and recognizing each other's strengths, and it just magic happens. You know, and you have that energy. And even though you're like working together whole day, you don't feel tired. You know, you might be physically tired, you go sleep for a bit, and then you're back to being energized again, you know, and especially when you work with someone who believes in you and who sees those strengths in you. And, you know, Deborah too, like with so much compassion and love. And I know that we're both coming from the same space when we sit there and create programs or create any initiative. It's like, and Stefan and Joy, which is why all four of us are here, we're all coming from that space of compassion and love and willing to do things for others because we truly believe in it, you know, and that's where the magic comes in, where you're working with your strengths so that you can really do stuff that's cool. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, my beautiful friend. Just remember that every word you speak and every initiative you undertake and everything that you do in life is part of your legacy. So now that is a realized strength.
Yes, it is now that you put it that way. This is the best strength debrief ever. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Deborah, for joining us for this Celebrating Jana is Strong. And Deborah, for the record, is my mindfulness teacher. I'm surrounded by my teachers right now. I feel very clever at the moment. So I'm just soaking in this moment for myself. Oh, yeah, it feels good. Okay, Jana, I'm still not done with you. Okay, so let's take a deep breath and count to 3. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hi. Hi, Anna. Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm so excited. I'm just listening in the background, and I'm so excited. I'm just speechless. Listening to all the stories.
Speechless. I think
I have so much to say to you, but again, I have only been able to. Yes.
Before you get started, can you introduce yourself?
Oh, hi everybody. My name is Sharon, and I too do positive psychology. I've been doing it for the last 10 years, and it has been an amazing journey. So for those of you listening in, if you're curious about what it is, follow that curiosity and get started on your own journey, because you can see we're having so much fun. Okay. Thank you, Joy, for having me as well. So good to see all of you. I resonate with so much of what has been said. But what I want to say is that the first thing that I remember about hearing about Jana was, oh, do you know Jana? And I was like, who's this Jana? And I heard it at least 5 times before I actually met Jana in the flesh when we were going to Philippines together to present in Manila. And everyone said, yeah, she teaches mindfulness. She talks about mindfulness. And I said, I've got to meet this Jana. And so when I first met her, it was at the airport. And we had 3 hours on the plane. Was it 3 hours? Something like 3 hours on the plane together with Tara. And I was just struck by how it is that she was talking to me as if she had known me for all her life. And I was thinking, who does that? I don't know how to do that. And even last year when we were in Melbourne together, the ease and comfort with which she struck up conversations with people as we were going through the conference is something that I completely admire and marvel because I don't know how to do that. But I saw it in her almost all the time. And so I was very thankful that she was on that plane together with me. And I thought to myself, oh, mindfulness teacher on the plane with me. I'm going to have a good journey. But it was so much more. We had so many moments of aha, I think, on that plane ride. We shared so many stories, and me being the first time meeting her, I just could not believe how open she was. How open she was at not only sharing personal stories, but like what you said, Deborah, and what you said, Stefan, just being there and being such a good listener and holding that space so very well. I was so touched that a complete stranger could do something for me that even some of my closest friends could not do. So Jana, I celebrate you and your ability to just have that beautiful rapport with so many people. I'm going to cheat a little bit and say one more thing. Everybody has talked about your heart. I love your heart. I love your soul. But can I also pause for a moment and talk about your brain? Because inside that brain is a powerhouse of many thought processes that are going on, that are creative, that are quick thinking, that are quick to put different pieces of the puzzle together. When I was listening to you 2 weeks ago talk about collective resilience on our wellness webinar, I was just so blown away with how simple you made it sound, when I know there's got to be so much work that was going on in the back end. But the way that it was presented was so easy to absorb. It was so easy to understand that I came out of it thinking, oh, I can do this thing, man. And so can everybody. So I want to also say that on top of that beautiful heart that you have, on top of the soul that you have, that can connect so easily with people, you also have an amazing mind. And Deborah, you talked about that legacy, and I think that mind goes into that legacy as well. Because if not for that mind, all the ideas cannot come across so smoothly. And if not for that, then so many more people will also not be able to benefit from the complexity that is positive psychology and that topic of collective resilience, which we all need, especially in these times. Yeah, so Jana, I love you. Yeah.
I'm just so amazed at the fact that you guys took the time out of your day to do this today. And I know, Cheyenne, you have just been doing so much, and I know how much energy you have been putting out there to take the time to be here this evening to do this for me. You have no idea how special I feel right now. I really, really, really do. And I'm so grateful to work with amazing people like this, And Cheyenne, what can I say, man? You're the trailblazer. And just learning so much from you every time we have a conversation. And I'm just so grateful to be in this group right now. I just feel like in this space, in these pictures that I'm looking at on my screen, there is just so much legacy and so much positive change and so much love and compassion for everybody. Thank you for including me. And thank you for taking the time.
Yay, we love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep blessing those around you, Jana.
I will, I promise. Okay.
No, now you have to do it, It's tested on live streaming already. Just joking.
And thank you so much. And thanks for your beliefs. And as you guys probably have seen my profile clearly, self-belief is one of my unrealized strengths. But as I have to say, is like, I think today, just now in this moment, I think my self-belief has actually become a realized strength.
Yay!
That is thanks to you. Okay, that is thanks to you.
Thank you, Cheyenne. And Jana, I'm still not done with you.
God, emotional wreck. This is what an
Does it feel like your birthday?
Like, oh, this looks like. Okay.
Okay, this is my final surprise for you, but our best surprise for you.
Stefan, can you still stay for 5-10 minutes? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So you know the routine. Take a deep breath and count to three. Ready? One,
1,
two,
2, 3.
three. Ta-da!
Hello.
No way!
I feel like we can't mention legacy without having your actual son here.
So that is Yana's actual son.
Hello. How's it going? I've been backstage the whole time. I've joined with these two as well.
Thank you for the patience.
I've been running around for you. And I was told to tell a story, but everything's been very sad, so I'm going to try and end it on a somewhat funny note. So let's see how this
I've been
goes.
sad.
You're wiping tears from your eye. I want to talk about resilience at the moment, because Mum's been very resilient, especially having to deal with me. And there's one particular story when I came back from a Metallica concert at 14 years old, and this was at about, it's 2 a.m. now, and Mum's been out on a graduation dinner, and she gets a call from me saying, hey, I'm at my friend's house, I'll get a cab. And some parental brain moment just kind of clicks, and she goes, no, I have to pick my son up. So Mum abandons all of her friends who she's hanging out with, and she gets in the car and she drives down to pick me up. And she picks me up, and I get in, and I kind of lie against the seat, and she feels my forehead, and I am just burning up. And she's like, all right, we need to get you home now. And so it's now about 3 a.m, and we're home, and I take my shirt off to shower, and I'm just covered in this huge rash. And Mum goes, okay, you need to get to the hospital. We've now hit 4 a.m, and Mum has not slept, and she's been up all night, and she's dragged me to the hospital, and she's putting wet cloth on my forehead, and she's just powering through. And then the morning after, I wake up, and Mum's still at the hospital, and she says, and she's explained kind of what's happened, and how much effort she's put in. And I respond with, thinking this is a true fact, well, you have to be here. It's the law. And Mum's resilience to not throw me out the window, I think, is the strongest than any human being has ever been. I also dengue. That's why I was there. It wasn't like I wasn't doing bad things. I got bit by a mosquito. That's a very good point to note. We're in Singapore. But yeah, I think that was the story I wanted to tell. And I also did want to add on with that little self-belief that you kind of talked about, because we've been with you for the past several months now in this house as you've been working really hard and constantly doubting yourself. And I really hope after this 45 minutes that you believe in yourself a lot more than you did before, because you are a heck of a lot better than you think you are.
Thank you, Kieran.
We concur.
Now let's have dinner.
Can't even speak anymore.
Joy, I can't believe you have orchestrated all of this. Thank you so much. And Kieran and Pete and my lovely mom, thanks guys for putting up with me and having that belief in me. So I really appreciate it. I can't stop crying. I'm sorry. Somebody else has to speak. I don't remember Joy's shows having so many tears, but I just want to say
tears of joy.
I have an amazing family, and I have an amazing son, and my mom and my husband and my whole family and friends and my extended family and everybody else. And it's been a long journey, and I just really want to say how grateful I am that I have them to be there and to support me through everything. And somebody asked me, like, do we have to go through difficult times in order to have resilience? And sometimes I really feel that it's how we choose to raise our kids and how we choose to approach the way we see the world and grow with compassion and have that empathy, because I think some of that has to do with being resilient as well. And, you know, I see a lot of resilience in my son. And what I really, really appreciate about him is that he can actually sit with his emotions and be honest with his emotions and share when he's sad and share when he's happy. And to me, that's an amazingly strong human being who can be comfortable being that person. So I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We probably need to let Jana off the hook now.
I think so.
Send you to the bathroom.
She needs to go for a long walk.
I know. Oh, guys, thank you so much for this. I'm just honestly, I'm speechless.
If you're speechless, then we have done our job.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm going to walk around into where Jana is now and give her a hug. So.
Oh, I love it. Let's wait for the hug before we all vanish.
I don't think very often that I'm left speechless. In fact, I don't remember last time I was left speechless. Yeah.
Here he comes. Here comes the hug.
I think I locked the door, by the way, just so nobody. Oh no, I haven't.
Jana, so since we are
Oh, guys, thank you so much. What a beautiful, beautiful evening. And I have never had strengths celebrated in this way. And I'm so glad to be here.
Hey.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. What a
thank you
lovely
everyone for joining us in celebrating Jana's strength. I really, really appreciate everyone's presence, making time to do the celebration. I think that that's something that we all should do more of, making time to celebrate life, to celebrate ourselves and people around us. It's also a reminder to myself. So the great thing is doing this show remind me to do that more often, especially in a pandemic like this. I think celebration is really, really important. So thank you for being on this show. It means a lot to me. Jana, thank you for agreeing to be on the show as well, to share your strengths with us so that we can be inspired by your strengths as well. So for the audience, you have witnessed for yourself the power of strengths. When you live life with the language of strengths and the lens of strengths, it's an amazing life. It is amplified who you are and show up as your best self by using strengths. So this is not unique only to positive psychology practitioner. This is available for everybody and anybody. So it has to start with you. So thank you everyone for coming in. So let's end off on a happy and super powered note. Everybody, superpower pose.
Yay!
Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
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 Thank you for
Love
celebrating
you
my strength. I love you.
Bye, darling. Bye.
Bye.